Hello and welcome back to my channel, Checks Capture Stress. Today's video is going to be game 38 of the Rapid Increase. So, we won last time out, very weird game, should have been a draw, but also could have lost that game. We're 1863, trying to get back up to, or trying to get up to 1900 should I say. And yeah, I mean it's been an alright run in the 1800s so far, so let's start and see what we can get. So, someone from Albania I believe that is. We're going to play our classic d4, and I think we're probably just going to play a London system. Oh, maybe not. We're going to have the England gambit. So I'm going to capture, and okay, that's a very different move. What I'm thinking now is to bring this knight in. If he takes, we can just do a queen trade, so I'm happy with that. I do know the trap normally is we get the queen there, and then this thing. Could just get the other knight in now. I could push this pawn as well, but I feel like we do this first. Then I'm going to push the pawn and then try and get the bishop out. It's already changed this game, a little bit completely different. So, it's 1861, which means a win here we get actually plus 12. So I want to push here. Obviously now he's looking at recapturing this pawn, and when we take, he's going to capture with his rook now. So I could play the move bishop to g5, but then if this blocks, it's not really much on. Do I take? That gets the bishop out though. Maybe actually bring the bishop here now, because after take this thing, we're still able to keep this pawn, and a pawn up is always quite good to start with. I'll be honest, we always, even though I want to do a gambit, and if you can get that pawn extra, it does help him from the opening. So he's just going to capture here. We're going to have to... Do we actually have to take the queen? No, not entirely actually. We can just do this now. This whole thing isn't really a big thing. Do I want to trade queens? Probably. Yeah, I think we're going to take here first, though. Gonna let this happen. Take that. Hopefully he takes us is the main thing. Yep, we're going to take there still. And he might try and bring his queen out, but if he does that, then obviously, we're just going to give away this pawn. And he decides to attack us. Now, the issue with that is that now we can take check. And if he takes there, that's quite reasonable, because he now defends his pawn. But if he doesn't, that leaves him into quite the mess. So let's try that then. So I think he now knows he might have to take with this, which puts him in a bit of a untidy position. And the reason for this is I now say we queenside castle with check. That's why we don't lose this. Here moves the king again. Hopefully this way actually. And it just blocks that rook in even more. Now he could block here. He loses the pawn. So he can't do that. So yeah, he's going to play that. Now where to go? I don't want to go there because of this. If I go all the way back here, there could be some risks, but here, this kind of ruins the rook. So we're gonna have to go all the way back, I think. And now we're gonna have to get our pawns out and get this bishop across. Now we also need to get this king across, especially as well. That is a huge thing. We expected a move like that, so we're gonna carry on with this. And then that could be a very nice position for us. This knight can always come in as well, which, speak of the devil, I might actually play this move, because I don't really want this to be captured, and this is not a good move. So if we go there, capture, do we take with the rook or the pawn? That's a difficult one, to be honest, because take with the pawn is very good in that position. It's obviously gaining another square towards promotion, but if we take with the rook, that's quite active. It's very easy to get our bishop and then double the rooks out. So we're going to get this cross here now. I'm pretty much expecting this. I'd be very surprised if he just moves this. The best move would have to be there. Yeah, so he's just going to take... We're going to capture with the rook here. Now he has got this move, but we can always just come back. And if he attacks us again, we obviously have all of these ideas. We can always just come back to there as well. It's very obvious he was going to play that. And just make sure there is no... So if I was to play here, my guess is he might try that. But I guess I could always maybe get someone with that, maybe not. I think we're going to play this still. I'll allow that, because I don't mind really where this rook... I could always just come back, to be fair. But maybe the rook going to c4 is still fine. Get the bishop out. Yep, I'm going to have to just go here. It kind of puts these two pieces in a bit of a deadlock position. And this pawn. This pawn can't move because it's protecting this. This can't move because it's protecting this. So, we'll get our bishop to e2. Reroute it to g4 maybe. And get the rook onto d1. And yeah, okay, so he's already trying to move stuff out the way there. Trying to not get into a conspicuous position. So you can't still do that, which is really helpful. This rook is blocked, again, really helpful. And also that move here has ideas of defending this c7 pawn. Very smart move. The only thing I would say is this is looking very nice now, forcing an idea like this. This could put a little bit of pressure onto them. Yeah, I like that move. Forcing that king move. Now, I think I can't play that. I might push then. I might push to do this. There's nothing really there because of this whole thing's blocked. So let's move this now. I really like this move as well because it stops this knight now having any chance of coming in. And obviously this is already stopped with this, and they'll isolate their pawn. Which might not be the worst if it's defending this, but wow, okay. That's very, I mean, obviously you can block now with this, so that's why he's doing the whole thing. Okay, wow, that is a very different move, and I think we're actually just going to push this up 2 now. And a few reasons for that, and the main thing is, obviously I want to try and play this, you know, maybe try and get their king pushed up a bit too quickly, maybe, force a mistake in that. But not too bad for time. Around now we're probably about on minus time at this point, knowing how slow I play. We're going to play here now. You kind of do not want that. We do not want them to get in there. The issue is now we are letting this idea happen, but there is just nothing on there, I don't think. Because there's so many pawns on the board. This knight should be good, but if you can't get active, then it's not going to be the best at all. So that's why this move here he's trying now, which is actually a very good move, because I'm very low on spaces, actually. I've got 2 squares to go to. I feel like this square is much nicer, as I'm obviously in line with the king. So, and also nothing can really attack me. He has to move his bishop and then do this, and still by then I'd have the knight, so hopefully just find a few moves. The issue is there's nothing going on this queen side. Absolutely. Oh, actually no. This is the king side, isn't it? Because we queenside castled. It's very different. It's very different when you castle the other way. You get very confused. Push this pawn maybe. I mean, as we said, I kind of expected this move, didn't I? So he might be looking to come here, actually. But I probably have something like this. Could push the pawn now. Pushing the pawn here is a very nice idea. Oh, maybe he's trying to get this rook in then. Yeah, so I think we're going to have to try and push the pawn now. You could also be looking at check, but that's not going to be at all useful with this being unprotected. So let's get this pawn up now. Obviously this is all protected. The issue is this bishop isn't the most useful just yet. He's now kind of doing something to protect this pawn. But yeah, hopefully he takes here. Now we can get past pawn. I could take with the rook, but this leaves so much pressure on the back ranks, even though, yes, I am defended both bishops, but still not looking the nicest. Now he does move that knight. I think that was quite a logical and understanding move there. This move looks really nice. Trying to look at this, but I just don't have any kind of pressure. But can we just push, actually? Push, rook there. We can get our bishop in now. Attack this. Always push this as well and put pressure on that. That looks really nice. Yeah, we're going to play that. And the reason is, well, we can actually just double up the pawns here and play f5 if we really have to. That just stops everything. Yeah, he's actually going to use it with his knight first. I expected it to be his rook to do that straight away, because now I feel like that's a bit... It's a bit more pressured now, actually. So I think we're just going to push the pawn. And I need to try and stop this. So bishop to f4 might happen next. Oh, okay, he's going to try and look for that. This is definitely a good move now, in my opinion. We're stopping that sort of threat right there. So that's a very nice move. Time is going a bit scary now. But we need to try and get these pawns active. There's 4 pawns still. I mean, he has 4 as well. Just not being used at all, really. I mean, this is doing something because it's protecting this. But other than that, I mean, these 3 other ones aren't really helping the most. These 2 bishops, though, are working a treat. The issue is I want to make a move like that. But then this push and just come back there and it wouldn't have enough time. Even a move like... Maybe this actually couldn't be too bad. Make the rook move. Where could the rook move? Maybe there? See, that's why we need somewhere to double up here, because this, you know, we could always do a sacrifice, but there's just nothing on. Good thing is now, he's got probably not that many moves to actually play, so it's really difficult. It does move his rook in then, so what is he? He's trying to obviously attack that. Can't really play that then, because if he takes, you know, he's attacking, well, he's not really attacking this because it's protected, but it's still not good for me. Could just push, but then I'm allowing that, so that's not really the smartest of options. I actually might just push up one here, or up one there. Actually, I feel like this one looks better. So, I mean, I'm kind of expecting this, because now I can then push, and that is quite bad for them. So, obviously giving up a piece for, I think there'd be 2 pawns. It might be what he has to do, though. So yeah, what I'm saying there is if he does knight takes f5, we can push. He's got nothing to defend this square other than something like that. Now, okay. Now, I looked at this and I was thinking en passant all the way, but if he takes with the pawn, that's actually going to let me in, isn't it not? I think I have to take that. If he takes with the knight, again, we can just probably play this. So I don't know why he's really giving it much thought. Now I think I can just play this move. Now I do understand that he wants to get this check. If I can go up, check there. You know, I'm blocked. I've got some squares here. And by then I'm also attacking this knight. So we're going to give it a go. He's going to block me in. That's most understandable. I can always sacrifice as well. I'll be honest with you. Sacrificing here is definitely not the worst idea. Still all to play for then. But yeah, just low on time still. It's just that passed pawn he's got to be wary of. I can always bring my rook, one of these rooks actually across for this now, but after push. Actually, that might be another move he plays. Push there, maybe. Because then, I guess one of my only moves is that. Okay, that's just not a move I expected. I mean, I can still play this. It just doesn't really have much. We're going to push it. Oh no, I can't push up 2 because we lose that. That's a big shame. This rook move looks very daunting now, but then after that, I guess I can now go there. Or do I just want to play there straight away now? Actually, I might just play here. This actually puts... Wait a second, isn't this just going to trap the rook? Because where's his only squares? Oh, no, he hasn't got that. He hasn't got this. He hasn't got this. Can't take. Can't go there. And he can't go there. And he obviously can't go there because bishop is blocking it. I think we might have... Oh, no, he can play check. Yeah. Does that still sort it out if I move the king? Oh, he has check then. Okay. Yes. Right. So, we're going to have to take... And that actually takes with check, so he has to capture back even though he was going to do anyway. This is a little bit of a problem in some scenarios. I don't really like bishop versus knight in this endgame. So... We're going to play our rook actually, or where do we want to play this? I might push up one here now. No, because he can have that. I'm going to have to probably trade rooks here. This is not good. I don't really want to do that at all, because realistically here I feel like the knight's going to be more powerful, but maybe not actually. I don't know. We just got to play very fast here. I nearly got that rook trapped, which would have been great, but can he now just get it in time? Don't think so. He's going to capture that pawn though, and I now want to get my king to here so I can actually move the rook out the way now, and then I can move the bishop freely, unless he obviously puts this on a white square, which would be muchly appreciated. That wouldn't work, would it? No, nothing like that. There's no checks on the board, really. No. It can now come in like this, but that's not really going to do nothing. Could always put a pin now. That's nearly the right square. Put a pin there as well soon. Got to make sure as well there's no like sacrifice you can do and then get a fork, for example. So it's always difficult, these sort of positions. They're always tactical. Just need to try and get that knight moved, and we might be able to get some 7th rank action here. Ooh. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Obviously attacking this. Can I just move the king up one? Check. I just go, probably. No, I have to go back actually, wouldn't I? But that's still at all not bad. He could just push. But I don't really see any idea in that. I'll probably just play something like this. Oh, actually, I probably could push then actually there just to stop any check. To try and throw me off. If he plays that, I can always just go up here as well now. That's not too bad. Doing a lot better on time now as well. Oh, okay, he's going back now. This is a bit of a helping hand. Annoyingly, I'm gonna have to push his pawn first though, which I really don't want to do. I just have to stop a square like this. And he's gonna move that knight next because he's protecting this pawn now, which was the knight's only job, which therefore means this. If you use probabilities here, I feel like he will move this knight next, even though it's in a great square already. He's either gonna move a pawn or a knight, but using that sort of theory, I would have thought he would move the knight, but there's not really a square for it. Now I've moved that pawn there. Now I move the bishop to, yeah, so he's actually going to just try and defend it now. I'm going to move my bishop here. False pretty much, given that pawn move there. I'm just going to move there as well, with the pawn as well. I do give him this move, but I don't think there's that, is there? Oh no, that should be a reasonable move, because I'd always win it, so... Yep, as I thought. We've just got to play fast now. It's like, not bullet, but it's like a blitz game at this point. This endgame. This is a huge move to get that backward pawn. We need to try and trade, I think. Where are we? No, we're not actually up a pawn now, are we? I think that pawn we lost there was our extra pawn that we kind of needed. I think the move would have to play something like this, but then there's that fork, which kind of, well, it wouldn't be exactly a fork, but I wouldn't want to play it. I might try and do a trade here. I feel like this is a little bit of a, not only hope, but kind of a good plan situation here. You can't put the rook there as well. That is a must thing you can't do. This is where blunders will happen from both of us, I feel like. It's whoever has the better ideas as well, is now we're attacking this. It's very difficult to actually get this now. This can just, he has to go up, I think, like this, is my guess. I'm now probably gonna, okay, he's gonna probably try and play check and force me back. That's quite a smart move, as I'm now lower than a minute. I'm gonna play just the rook up one, stop any checks, and he might try and go behind the pawn. I think that's what he is actually doing now. And if he plays that, we're going to trade pawns now. So, he takes, we take, he might just about win an extra pawn here, but that shouldn't be too bad. He's going to take with the rook now. Oh no, he's actually going to take with the pawn, wow. He's just missed an opportunity at that. He might just play a load of checks now. I'm going to try and hide up here. Oh, he can win that actually, which he does do. We're going to play a check, see where he goes. He's going to try and go for this now, which I'm going to play here. We're going to then play a move like this. Oh no, okay. We're going to attack this pawn instead. If he takes there, that gives us huge potential. This could just be a draw, honestly. No, it's not. And he's going to be able to take that, which is a real shame. I can't defend this. And now we're going to have to play for, hopefully, he doesn't really get the best endgame. That's my hope, is that these pawns mess him up. That's a good check from us. Issue is he's protecting everything. Oh my god, wait, he's just blundered his rook though. But is that enough? I don't think it's enough. I can't see a way to stop this. I'm just going to have to give loads of checks, I think. We're obviously looking at mate in 1. Oh, well, okay, well. Wow. 3 seconds left he had, to be fair, so, I mean, it would have been a win then. But wow, what an endgame. That was... sorry for the old game review flash, as per usual. But, wow. That was very tough at the end. I completely messed up towards the end. I had an 80... Oh my god, I was massively losing at the end game at one point. There was 2 blunders. I only had 1 blunder. Let's see where I went wrong. So, yeah, this was already good. I'm already 2 points up. Wow. That whole making that king move really put me in quite a good position then. And to be fair, I stuck by that for a very long time, actually increasing. That wasn't the best. Still good in this position. Okay, this wasn't the right idea. They just, yeah, bring that back. We had a look at that move. Now this was where it was a blunder. And that's because we thought it trapped it, but it didn't. Now they're saying it's just dead even. Which, obviously had to play this. He goes back. And this is where we start getting a few random moves here almost. I think I make a mistake up here, because he was massively winning at one point. I just completely missed. And I think it's up here. This is where I'm now losing. And it's because I'm just letting him get closer with his king, and he missed. Maybe he didn't really... I feel like he might have missed that, but I can just take, so I don't know. And we got this whole thing here where I just lost all my pawns, really. But I got very lucky at the end, because the time situation... Luckily, even though I'm so bad on my time, I'm able to play just that little bit quicker. And obviously, he completely blunders here. And I played this completely wrong at the end. I just got a bit... I just tried to go for checkmate, which is obviously the complete wrong idea. But knowing how low on time he was, he probably wouldn't have found a better move. And I think the best move here, obviously, would be this. But if you've got to think, he played his last move with 3 seconds on the clock. I mean, I could just play probably checks for 3 seconds. You know, this, and just go over here and let him queen almost. Well, I wouldn't go over there, because if he queens, I'd have to go here. But I can do this, and I can still give checks. And this is going to take longer than 3 seconds, in my opinion. So, well, yeah, obviously without this whole thing here. But using our time wisely, was able to get that win. 1875, we're getting closer now. So hopefully you enjoyed today's video. So thank you, and bye-bye.